Today I'm going to be talking through how to present with confidence using our software, PresentPal, which I'm using today as well. So myself, I'm Chris, the founder and CEO of PresentPal, proud dyslexic as well. As well as my day job, I'm a non-exec for Dyslexia Scotland, so really passionate about dyslexia, and also run the Neurodiversity and Tech group in Skills Development Scotland back home as well. Hope my accent isn't too thick for everyone. I'll try and slow down if so. In terms of speaker disclosures, I have a financial relationship with PresentPal, it's a company that I work for, and that's pretty much us. So let's get kicked off with learning objectives. We have 3 today. So describing one or more challenges that learners face with disability when presenting. Secondly, to provide different examples of how PresentPal can support. And third, looking at providing one or more examples of types of learners that would benefit from PresentPal. So let's jump into it. In terms of CEUs, this is CEU eligible, and you can absolutely contact us at the end of the session and get some feedback, and certainly get your CEU certificate as well. So I'd like to kick the kind of session off by talking a bit about my journey and a bit about where the concept of the software came from. So as I said, as a proud dyslexic, I had just started my university degree. I was doing a business degree, had really worked my backside off to get into this dream degree. And within the first 2 or 3 weeks, I found myself getting really frustrated. I had to give presentations all the time, and this was something that I could not get my head around. I watched my classmates turn up and wing their presentations as I was spending hours and hours and hours trying to learn my content off by heart, really trying to understand all this new content, and really found myself relying on that working memory. It got to a stage when I was about 3 or 4 months into the degree that it was such a massive pain for me that I really thought I had to do something about it. So I had my accommodations meeting and met with the disability officer, and basically I said, right, what support can I get for my presentations? This is really the bane of my life at the moment. It's so painful, it's really frustrating. My tutors were making comments like, you're obviously not spending long enough preparing, and I was getting so frustrated. So the needs assessor says to me, oh, you know what, we hear this all the time. We could just let you skip it if you want. And I thought, wow, that is not what I want. I'm going to university, I'm doing a business degree. I want to come out at the end of this to be employable, to have the same experiences as my classmates, as my friends. And by skipping that accommodation, or skipping that presentation, that was not the accommodation that I needed. It wouldn't help me in life. So I really thought, I need to just learn this skill. I'm just going to have to get on with it. I'm going to have to kind of grit my teeth and just really do everything that I can to have that same kind of experience as my classmates. What I did there was I tried to learn just how my brain worked. Tried to learn and understand why presentations were hard for me. And really the kind of key information that came out was challenges with the working memory. So my working memory isn't great. We all know different people with different disabilities have never got the exact same experience. Some people with dyslexia aren't great readers, some aren't great spellers. For me, it's working memory challenges. And that tends to be the common theme in terms of why people with dyslexia generally struggle with presentations. Again, could be for a variety of reasons, and we can't paint everyone with a one brush, so that's really important to remember. But for me, it was challenges with the working memory. There's obviously the executive functioning challenges as well, information recall, but also just general anxiety when you're presenting. It's that worry of totally forgetting your content, or it could be the worry of standing in front of your classmates and making a fool of yourself. It could be the worry of I've got a timed presentation and I really I don't know how long in I've got. Am I talking too quickly? Am I talking too slowly? Are the audience engaged? Are the audience not engaged? So there's 1,000,001 things going on in your brain while you're going through a presentation. So I really wanted to understand how I could use this information to my advantage. And so what I looked to do was pull out some of the key themes that was running. So I was trying to stop an overload in my working memory. I was trying to provide bite-sized chunks of information so I wasn't relying on reading. And then I had a concept or an idea to make a very, very basic software that could channel several of these different ideas to overcome a lot of these different challenges. So I made up a very basic mock-up of my idea in Microsoft PowerPoint, literally just copying and pasting kind of text boxes and color overlays and everything like that. And I ended up showing it to a few of my friends and my disability advisor. And the feedback they gave me was, this is amazing, I would love this. I know students who would love this. And so I ended up actually going full-time on the business and dropped out my dream degree, which is, it was a bold move, but we're now supporting just under 10,000 disabled students who were exactly in the same position that I was. So really kind of proud of that. So I'm going to jump into a product demo here. And again, using the software at the moment myself. So PresentPal is a presentation support software that works like interactive cue cards that controls your slides at the same time. This is how I used to present. I don't know if you can, in fact, I'll go back here. I don't know if you can, you definitely won't be able to read that, in fact. It's just dog-eared, crumpled up notes, can't read my writing, it's all scripted. Terrible. We can throw them away. And so what I wanted to do was to really focus in on stopping this overload in the working memory and just providing bite-sized chunks of information, or bite-sized pieces of information, should I say. So here's the software here. We have a flashcard here. This should be a video. Usually that auto-plays. But essentially the software displays 3 to 5 key bullet points. But instead of being all linear and scripted, the way that we display our information is with keyline focus. So we've always got one centralized bullet point, much bigger than the points around it. So the idea there is, if I look into the audience like I am just now, and then back to my notes, I don't find myself really worried, anxiously trying to find my place again. What we can then do is we can use a feature called safety nets, which basically, if we're relying heavily on the key information, if we forget what comes after our key bullet point, we can just tap on it. And in there, we can have an image or more information. So what we're really trying to do is we're basically trying to create a safety net where you can store additional text that's not going to trip you up the way that a traditional flashcard or script would. And it's really there in that kind of situation where you have complete brain fog, real anxious moments, and then you can just find your place naturally. It's there if you need it. We've got an amazing feature called Rehearsal Mode here, which is amazing for self-assessment. So practice and preparation before a presentation is key. So what this feature allows you to do is to create your content, practice, and listen back. Really, this is all about self-assessment. You can listen back, see which areas are good, again, positive reinforcement, and which areas need a little bit of work. So this is a feature that's extremely popular with some of our users. University of Tennessee, Knoxville is one that they absolutely loved, the rehearsal mode feature. Confidence doubled whilst using it, which was absolutely class. One of the other key features, as I said, everyone with disabilities, no two are the same. What's really important is that you can customize that to your own individual preferences and needs. So what this means is that we can change all of our color backgrounds. So we've really focused in on color overlays to make that easier to read. Different fonts and font sizes. Features like audio cues, which means that you can listen to your notes, actually have that dictated and read out to you. I don't like that personally, but some of our users really do. And that's the beauty of PresentPal, is you can totally make it customized to your needs and your preferences. It's WCAG AA accredited, so it does work with screen readers as well. And the software is really not just for people with dyslexia. Obviously, I've talked about dyslexia because that's my experience, but we've really gone to lengths to focus in on UDL. So this works really well for students with dyslexia, with ASD, with anxiety and mental health challenges, students with visual impairments, just general students. we had an amazing case study, which was almost a total accident with a communications department, no disabled students, and their confidence doubled as well. So it's something that can be used to support anyone, disabled or non-disabled, and that's the beauty of what our accommodation is. It's nice and discreet. You wouldn't know I was using assistive technology, and yeah, it just really helps increase confidence. The software can also be used to integrate with your Microsoft PowerPoint or Google Slides. So as you can see, it's controlling my PowerPoint today at the same time as I'm using my notes. So what this means is basically I can walk about the stage if I want. I can't just now because I've not got the microphone. But essentially, it would allow us to control our slides at the same time as accessing our notes, which is really powerful. In terms of case studies, we wanted to use a US case study here. As I mentioned, the software is being used at over 100 universities in the UK, but we're now really beginning to see some real success in the States. A great example here is the University of Memphis. After using PresentPal for one semester, the confidence increased by 66%, so really showed incredible impact straight away. And 86% of the students said that they felt extremely comfortable using this as an accommodation, so it was nice and discreet and it helped their learning. In terms of the next kind of steps, in terms of if you guys like it, we'd love to set up a sort of pilot, a semester-long pilot where you can test the software. We'd love to get the feedback from yourself and your students. You can receive full training with one of our account managers, and we can set you up with a pre-pilot call in terms of going through that. So that is pretty much the software itself. Would be more than delighted to do a one-to-one demo to set you guys up with the license and really to get your feedback. But I hope that's been beneficial. I'll keep it nice and short because I know the sun's coming out and it's Friday evening. I'm sure a few of us might be quite thirsty for more than just our soda. So have a great one. It was great being here. So thank you very much, guys. Cheers.